You know, it's the off season, and the off season gives us an opportunity to talk about and reflect on the last season and even season prior to that. We can also talk about positions, we can talk about the draft, we can talk about the combine, we can talk about free agency, we can talk about coaching, we can talk about the front office, and of course we can talk about next year, next season. And so, while it's the off season, quite a few interesting and I would say even compelling topics may surface. And one such topic has recently surfaced. And it's nothing new. It's something that is debated and argued about and discussed. And it probably will be in perpetuity. But we need to discuss some things.
Bijan Robinson. Man, y'all better watch out. That was the right pick. Man, with Raheem Morris and all of our weapons, man, it's looking good. I tell you one thing, we better get that quarterback right, or we ain't going nowhere.
We're going to talk about something today that could be considered controversial, but it really isn't. We have to be honest with ourselves as fans about our team, about the moves that we make, and just about how we're perceived, and what's real and what's perceived. And so, with that being said, I want to talk about one of the best quarterbacks to ever suit up for the Atlanta Falcons, and that's Mr. Matt Ryan. If you recall, this franchise was down in the dumpster when we drafted Mr. Matt Ryan, third overall in the first round. And Matt Ryan came in immediately and started playing. He didn't have to sit behind anybody. We needed him right away. We needed him to learn the game immediately, the speed of the game, the complexities of the game. And he did. He did that. He won Rookie of the Year. We made the playoffs his first season. Hell, his first pass was a touchdown pass to Michael Jenkins. What a way to start your career. Matt Ryan led us to back-to-back winning seasons for the first time in franchise history. Matt Ryan led us to the Super Bowl. In that same year, he won MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, Matt Ryan, we have to give him his flowers. I mean, here's a guy who's a model player, always says what's right and does what's right. Investing in the inner city, just a great guy. Great leadership skills. But let's be clear. As much as we appreciate Matt Ryan, and I understand that he thinks that the Falcons fans don't appreciate him. Some do, some don't. It's debatable. We have to be honest about who Matt Ryan really is as a player. With all of the things that Matt Ryan has accomplished, he is still who he is. And what I mean by that is that when Matt Ryan came out recently and said in a very diplomatic way that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, we began to hear fans say things like, oh, he's the best Falcon ever. Best player to ever put the suit on. Oh, he's the best quarterback we've ever had. Oh, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great. Come on now, guys. While Matt Ryan is certainly one of the best players that has played quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, we have to be honest. We have to be objective. And I want Matt Ryan to be all of those things because I'm a Falcons fan. But I have to step back and say, let's be honest. Let's put some integrity in our assessment. Okay? Because if I buy that Matt Ryan is the best Falcon to ever wear the uniform, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Deion Sanders. It's disrespectful to Julio Jones, Devin Hester, Tony Gonzalez, Dwight Freeney, John Abraham. I mean, and the list goes on. And that doesn't mean that Matt Ryan was a bad quarterback, but we don't have to indirectly throw the other players who were great under the bus. So you mean to tell me that Matt Ryan was better at his position than Deion Sanders was at his position? Than Julio Jones was at his position? Really? And there are others. Matt Ryan, and I hate that we have to have this conversation, but it's necessary. Matt Ryan, as good as he was for the franchise, has never been considered the best at his position. Ever. Now, Deion Sanders has. Some people will argue today that Deion Sanders is not only the best Falcon to ever play in Atlanta, or the best cornerback, they say that he's the best athlete. He played for the Falcons and the Braves. He hit home runs and stole bases while scoring touchdowns. Can't ignore that. Julio Jones certainly was considered the best wide receiver in the game. Maybe not throughout his entire career, maybe not even the majority of his career, but he was considered the best. Matt Ryan never was. And so we have to be honest with ourselves. Matt Ryan was good, but he was not as good of a quarterback as Deion Sanders was a cornerback, as Julio Jones was a wide receiver, as Tony Gonzalez was a tight end, as Devin Hester was a return man. So maybe I'm misunderstanding some of these, what I call gross generalizations. And I think it's all about best. Best. That's a loaded word, best. Do you mean most talented? Do you mean, okay, they started their career here and stayed here for the majority of their career, at least 2 contracts? Because if that's what you mean, okay, I can start to understand what you mean. But to say that he's the best Falcon to ever put on the uniform, that includes everybody, including Brett Favre. And that's just not true. So we have to have some qualifiers. So Matt Ryan is a good Atlanta Falcon player. He was. But he's not the best to ever put the uniform on. Not by a long stretch. Matt Ryan is the owner of many franchise records. People point to Matt Ryan's statistics, and I can appreciate that. Matt Ryan was stable for us. Matt Ryan was reliable for us. He was a good quarterback. Very seldom got injured. Okay? So we're not saying that Matt Ryan wasn't good. We're just saying Matt Ryan was not the best Falcon ever. Okay? We have to be careful. So let's dig a little deeper. Matt Ryan has never led the league in touchdown passes. He's never led the league in passing yards. He's never led the league in fewest interceptions thrown. Even in his best year, 2016, he didn't lead the league in passing yards. He didn't lead the league in touchdown passes. He didn't even lead the league in fewest interceptions thrown. And those are key performance indicators. Do you know who led the league for those 3 performance indicators? It was Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. And so, let's be honest. And some people may debate, well, did he really deserve the MVP? Well, I'm glad he got the MVP. He had the highest QBR that year. But he did not outperform his peers. While Deion Sanders has, while Julio Jones has, and other players who have played for the Atlanta Falcons. And to say that Matt Ryan will be a first ballot Hall of Famer is just, it's very subjective and very Homer. We all want that, but come on, guys. Matt Ryan has thrown 30 or more touchdowns in a season 3 times over a 15-year career. So that's once every 5 years. That's not even Hall of Fame numbers. Okay? It's not. But again, I hope he gets in. But it's not. It's tough that we have to have this conversation because Matt Ryan was a good player for the Atlanta Falcons. But let's be honest. I mean, he's very unlucky. I mean, he's the quarterback who quarterbacked the team that gave up the biggest Super Bowl comeback differential in league history, while at the same time being the quarterback that gave up the biggest point differential, lead differential in the regular season. I mean, what are the chances? How unlucky can you be? Or is it him? And so, we love Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, we appreciate you, but everybody knows the good and the bad. So Matt Ryan is a good quarterback. We're not debating that. We're just talking about the hyperbolic, overstated talent that he has. And he has a lot of stats, but it's always top 10, top 8, top 20. It's like we're part of the group. Matt's in that group. He's part of the top quarterbacks. But the elite quarterbacks are top 3. Led the league in something. Matt Ryan has never led the league in touchdowns. But we have had a quarterback to lead the league in passing touchdowns. That would be Steve Bartkowski in 1980. Steve Bartkowski, yeah, we drafted him number 1 overall. He also won Rookie of the Year. And so, to just throw quarterbacks and other players under the bus, it's disingenuous, disrespectful to the franchise. We can celebrate Matt Ryan without throwing other players under the bus, directly or indirectly. And that's what we should do. Because the hyperbolic descriptions of what Matt Ryan was, it's just not true. Everybody knows. Matt knows. And so I think when Matt came out recently and said that he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because of his statistics, and I'm paraphrasing, that's a solicitation. And hopefully Matt will get in. Matt has positioned himself very well as a football analyst for CBS, and he does an excellent job. I mean, you can tell that he knows football. He's made several comments about quarterback play and how the leg and the arm should be turned and where you should be positioned. That's head and shoulders above some of the other guys who are calling the games with him. He knows his stuff. Okay? He's good. He knows football. But being a first ballot Hall of Famer, being the best Falcon ever to play the game, that's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. And again, I hate to have this conversation, but it's real. It's real. Matt Ryan was a good quarterback. But he's nowhere near as good as Brees, not even in the same stratosphere. Matt Ryan led the league in passing 0 times. Drew Brees led the league in passing 7 times. And Brees is not even Brady or Peyton Manning. And let's not even bring up Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they're just different. They're in a different class. So, when we talk about first ballot Hall of Famers, he's competing with those guys. When we're talking about all-time greats, come on, guys. We have to be honest. Let's not put Matt under the spotlight for scrutiny. Okay? He was good for us. He was. We were just in a really bad space when we drafted Matt. And he helped with his teammates to pull us out of it. To pull us out of it. And so, Matt Ryan, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate everything you've done on the field and off the field. But it's some of your fans that foster the type of conversation that we're having now. Not going to be bamboozled. We know what it is. We've seen it with our own eyes, and we're appreciative of it. And so, Matt Ryan may not be the best player to ever put on our uniform. He may not be an all-time great, but he's ours, and we support it.